Japan's sex industry is an intricate and often misunderstood aspect of its society. With approximately 350,000 people engaged in prostitution, the industry remains vast and complex. To put this into perspective, for every 25 people in Japan, one is involved in the sex trade. This statistic alone speaks volumes about its prevalence. Despite its controversial nature, the industry operates with a level of normalcy that might surprise outsiders. Today, we will delve into the realities of prostitution in Japan. First, let's revisit what we discussed in a previous video. As seen in areas like Kabukicho, Tokyo's red light district continues to thrive, buzzing with neon lights and an ever-present energy. However, some areas, such as Ikebukuro, have evolved, now featuring more public-facing businesses and entertainment hubs. The traditional image of the red light district is changing, but its essence remains deeply rooted in Japanese society. Historically, prostitution in Japan was perceived differently than in many Western cultures. During the Edo period, around 200 years ago, courtesans were regarded as artists, adorned in extravagant kimonos and intricate hairstyles, serving an elite clientele. Unlike the Christian-influenced moral standards of the West, Japan viewed the practice as an art form rather than a moral failing. Courtesans, known for their beauty and intellect, were revered figures, often likened to high-class cultural icons rather than mere sex workers. Their presence in society was not that of parasitic figures, but of elite entertainers who commanded respect and admiration. But what drives women to enter the industry today? Studies reveal that about 60% of women engage in sex work out of financial necessity, while the remaining 40% cite various other reasons. Many come from single-parent households or have escaped abusive relationships, seeking financial independence and security. Some are university students struggling to afford tuition, their families unable to cover both academic and living expenses. In these cases, prostitution presents itself as a viable, albeit controversial, means of financial survival. For some, the choice is more complex. Certain individuals, while not in dire financial straits, desire a lavish lifestyle, designer bags, high-end experiences, and financial freedom beyond what a traditional job could provide. The appeal lies in the substantial income potential. A woman working in the industry can earn between $300 to $600 for 4 hours of work, while an 8-hour shift at a restaurant or convenience store might only bring in $80 to $120. The financial incentives are undeniable, and for many, they outweigh the societal stigma attached to the profession. Yet, there is another layer to this reality: debt. Many women enter the industry burdened with significant financial obligations, some owing hundreds of thousands of dollars. The flexibility and high earnings of sex work make it an attractive solution to escape their financial predicaments. Unlike conventional jobs, where financial progress is gradual, the industry provides immediate economic relief, often within a single night's work. The clientele also plays a significant role in shaping the industry's dynamics. Many men view paid services as a pragmatic alternative to dating. In Japan, it is customary for men to cover the costs of a date, often spending upwards of $100 per outing. For some, paying for direct services is seen as more efficient than navigating the complexities of romantic courtship. Interestingly, cultural attitudes toward prostitution differ from Western perspectives. Approximately 60% of women in Japan do not perceive the use of sex services as infidelity, a stark contrast to views in many other countries. This tolerance, in part, stems from the perception that such engagements lack emotional involvement. However, the industry's secrecy still creates complications. Some married women engage in sex work while hiding it from their spouses, just as some men discreetly seek out such services. In certain cases, relationships even develop between sex workers and their clients, leading to unexpected marriages and long-term commitments. As Japan's society evolves, so too does its sex industry. The increasing openness surrounding these discussions highlights a shift in cultural perceptions. Many women in the industry are now able to share their experiences without the overwhelming stigma of previous generations. While still considered taboo in some circles, the conversation around sex work is gradually becoming more nuanced. kanji, or katakana, adds another layer of difficulty for those unfamiliar with the language. A key point to understand is that prostitution in Japan operates within legal loopholes. While outright paying for sexual intercourse is illegal, certain legal services have been structured around this restriction. Establishments offering non-penetrative services such as oral sex, body-to-body massages, or other forms of erotic entertainment exist in abundance. Workers can set their boundaries, making the industry somewhat distinct from other countries in terms of perceived safety and control. Contrary to the Hollywood portrayal of the sex trade as inherently violent and exploitative, many women working in Japan's adult entertainment industry report being respected and valued by their clients. The presence of regulated businesses managed by trained staff, rather than organized past syndicates, has led to a relatively safer work environment compared to other countries. However, transitioning out of this industry remains a challenge. Many women, accustomed to high earnings, struggle to find alternative employment that provides comparable financial stability. Some use their earnings to start businesses, while others remain in the industry due to a lack of viable alternatives. Beyond this, the industry's influence extends beyond its workers. The cultural perception of prostitution in Japan is different from that of the West. There is a level of tolerance, especially when compared to countries with strict Christian moral frameworks. For many, the use of these services is seen as a temporary relief rather than an act of betrayal. This perception has contributed to the continued existence and expansion of the adult entertainment industry in Japan. As society evolves, discussions about this industry have become more open, with more women speaking candidly about their experiences. Some seek to raise awareness about working conditions, while others emphasize the personal empowerment they have gained through financial independence. Ultimately, this complex and multifaceted industry continues to thrive in Japan, shaped by cultural attitudes, legal loopholes, and economic realities. The conversation surrounding it remains nuanced, with perspectives ranging from cautionary to affirming. The coming video will feature an in-depth interview with an insider who provides valuable insight into